Good morning, everyone. Hi. Welcome to JAM Barcelona. Woo! Well, thank you. Thanks for coming. So it's a real pleasure to see so many of you here. It's the first time that we're doing JAM in Barcelona, and you've traveled from so many countries to join for this first event. So thanks you all for joining. It's a real pleasure. So, as many of you know, Seb, my co-founder, and I, yes, this is us, we've been running JAM in London for the past 5 years, almost 5 years now. And it's been a blast. We've been doing the conference, it grew every year. But sometime last year, so right after we wrapped our fourth conference there, we just asked ourselves, what if we created a new kind of event? So something a little bit different than JAM London, more international, but also more intimate, friendlier, more fun. Because let's face it, London in November, I mean, for those who've lived there and been there, we are cold, right? I mean, I don't live there anymore, but anyways. So we asked ourselves, what would this event look like? So we're about to find out this weekend. But before we get to that, I just want to take a minute to appreciate how much of an international crowd that you all are here today. So I want to have a quick show of hands. Who's coming from the UK first? Okay, great. Welcome. Who is coming from Spain? Locals? All right, cool. The US? Americans? Wow, great. Coming from far. Any fellow Frenchies, French people? Oh, hey, bonjour, ça va? So, anyone from Asia, coming from any Asian countries? Hi, great. I've seen a few people from Korea on the list. Maybe that's you, I don't know. Yeah, great, well. So we have a very diverse audience coming from all over, it's crazy. On the attendees list, I think I've counted 10 or 12 countries, so that's really amazing, because that was one of the intentions for this event, bringing product makers from all over. So, before we get started, and for those who don't know the story, I want to take you back where it begins quickly. So JAM started in 2015. I met Seb, my co-founder, in a startup. He was the head of design, I was the product manager. And together we were just working on this complex ad tech dashboard. We basically had to build a product from scratch. And you will probably relate that it comes with its fair share of challenges, right? So we just basically wanted to create a space to learn from other product teams out there and to understand how they build products behind the scenes. So JAM was born. It was a small conference, a bit like this one, just 150, 200 people in 2015. And yeah, we had no idea it would grow into something that we would do every year and that would gather 600 people in London. So that's been a lot of fun. We learned a lot from our speakers over the years. Actually, one of them is a returning speaker. You'll meet her later, Anna from Ocado over here, with her persona, a real persona that she brought that day. So we learned tons from our speakers, great stories, and we really kind of like upped our product skills from all the talks that we've heard from all of those great companies here over time. But the main thing, and when I was reflecting, when I was kind of preparing what I wanted to share with you at this event, when I'm reflecting on what has been the most incredible part of JAM, it's been really the people, right? The connections that we made. Not just like, people that you talk to, you just network with, but we really made genuine friendships, friends through JAM. You can see some of them here. You'll see all the volunteers who have a JAM t-shirt. They're all great friends. They were all attendees the first year or the second year, and we connected through that community. We also had loads of speakers who became mentors, sounding boards. So JAM has been really this community. And that's why we're here in Barcelona. That's what brings us here. It's because we know that those connections, the stories, those connections, those experiences that you have with people, with peers, they don't really happen easily when you are in the auditorium or when you are, stuck behind your desk. So we wanted to create this event to build around connections, essentially. So those are our speakers. Super proud that they joined us. Over the next 2 days, you're going to hear their stories. You're going to learn a lot about how they build their products, how they manage their teams, how they work behind the scenes, some of their best lessons learned and top advice. They've all accepted to be genuine, to be candid, to share, not just the successes, but also the failures, the doubts. So I'm not going to spoil it too much. You'll hear the talks, but really looking forward to hearing their story. But this event is also about you, as much as it's about our speakers and their talks. I really invite you to think about what was your intention for coming to this event? What is it in your role, in your career, that you want to learn more about at the moment? What is it that you want to grow? Think about also one success that you've had recently that you can share with others, because your daily grind, what you take for granted, can help other people in their role. Think about a struggle, something where you need other people's input and where you would love to hear how they deal with this particular challenge. And then think about something that excites you at the moment. Maybe it's something you want to learn, a skill, a product you want to build, because you never know. Your next colleague or mentor or co-founder might be in this room here today. And to help you meet those people, those great people, Seb built a bunch of tools to help you do that. So I invite you to check the attendees lounge to see the attendees list. You also find who's here, message each other. So take a moment to have a look if you haven't done that already. There's also all kinds of information about the schedule, locations, and all of that. Okay, and as I was saying before, right? Connections and experiences are a big part of this event. We didn't want to make it yet another conference where you just come for talks and that's it. So you've probably, thanks to Neil for the gifts, you're probably aware that tomorrow is a bit of more of an off day. The day is going to start with an activity. So it's a surprise activity, which means that you don't know what it is, but you can find out. Each of you is part of a group. So on your name tag, you have, I don't have one because I'm kind of doing a hike, but I won't say too much about this. But you have a sticker with a group name. This group name is a neighborhood of Barcelona. And if you find people with the same part of the same group, each of them has a clue about what that activity is tomorrow. So you can start, network with people and ask them about their clue to find out what you're going to do tomorrow. Again, won't say too much about it, but we have a bunch of exciting stuff happening across town. And in the afternoon, we have a bunch of intimate events, smaller kind of talks, conversations, fireside chats to kind of help you, to kind of dig deeper into something that really matters to you. So you can take a look at the schedule and pick the events that you want to go to tomorrow. And the last thing I want to leave you with is that, and I hope it will show, this event was made with love, was handcrafted. A few bits are quite artisanal, I would say. But, also, let's face it, the food tasting wasn't the hardest part. That's what I love the most. And Seb is Belgium, I'm French. We just, from the beginning, JAM has been about also great food and, great coffee and drinks. So a big shout out to our team of volunteers who've been really amazing to help us put this event together. Francesca for all the great illustrations that you've seen. Maria here, social media. I'm not going to name them all. You're going to meet them throughout the weekend. But it's been really fun to put this event for you guys, and I hope you're gonna enjoy it. And that's about it for my part. I wish you an amazing time here in Barcelona. I hope you hear some amazing stories that inspire you in your job, that you meet great people and have lots of fun. So now it's my pleasure to introduce you to your host for the day, because I'm sure you're going to get tired of the French accent pretty quick. So this is Sunil, your host for the day. Join me in welcoming him to the stage. Hey, Sunil.